care if I die or not. Not in like a depressing way, but like in a way that like I can't actually do anything about the fact that I'm gonna die, right? Like regardless of time and place, one day I'm gonna die. And on top of which, like, the shelter staff are refusing to give me shelter space. They're refusing to give me food, and they're telling me that I have to continually move while I have a sprained ankle, which I can't. On top of which, they're telling me that I actually have to like wait around and make sure that like they have shelter space for me or whatever. And like, I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like, okay, like they're telling me, this is what they're saying, including the TTC workers, that like, oh, we have a home to go back to and you don't, you have to sleep on the streets, and like we're better than you, and yeah, if I do this I might get fired, but at least I have a bed to sleep in, unlike you. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't understand why they're making such a huge fuss out of it if it doesn't matter in their life anyway, because they clearly don't care about me, right? And honestly, like, this is the part where it bores me to tears, where it's like, okay, so if you don't care about me, then why are you making a huge fuss about me and telling me this? Why don't you tell it to people that you care about? And on top of which, if you actually, like, I get that, like, nothing's gonna change if I die. Nothing's gonna change. People are still gonna go to work. People's companies are still gonna keep running. And honestly, no one's even gonna notice that I died. Like, even if people did notice, like, it's not like they're gonna be like, oh my god, she's such, like, a huge important person to me. Right? Like, I know that for a fact, and the fact that they're saying this to my face is, like, really pissing me off. That, like, they're like, oh, don't you care about all your family and friends? And I'm like, if I cared, and then if I had family and friends, would I be here? Literally. Like, they're not even thinking about it. It's like, honestly, I hate them so much. Also, I'm really angry. But they think that, like, I don't actually, like, they think I care so much about my life to the point where I'm gonna go around knocking on strangers' houses and asking them to take me in. Like, why would I do that? It's their responsibility to make sure a citizen can have a job and a place to live here. It's not their responsibility to make sure somebody else should be looked after when it's a government's job, and they're intentionally refusing me services that I'm actually legally required to access. So what the fuck am I supposed to do if people just don't want to work anymore? How am I supposed to force them to work? I can't. So it's kind of fucked up what they're doing. There's a guy staring at me while I'm making this video. It's really creepy. A few people have come up to me today and they're harassing me and they won't leave me alone, and I'm like, what the fuck do you want? Are you gonna help me? Stop looking at me. Holy shit, this is the part that pisses me off the most. I clearly need a shelter and food. They're not giving me a shelter or food, and they're just looking at me and harassing me and telling me how much better than they are than me. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Great for you, good for you. I don't care. That's really good for you. I don't know why you're telling me this if you don't give a shit about me. It's very obvious. Okay? I'm glad you have a place to go to and a place to sleep. Whoop-de-doo. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, I honestly don't understand, like, what the fuck their point is. And they're, like, freaking out at me, and they're getting scared because I don't want to die, or I don't care if I live. And they're, like, wondering if I'm actually suicidal or not. And I'm like, I don't care if you feel guilty because of the stuff that you've done, because you should be feeling guilty. But how am I supposed to, like, tell you anything different, or, like, lie to you, or, like, try to make you feel better as if it was my job? Right? And on top of which, it's like, okay, so, like, you're telling me that you're just refusing to work and you feel guilty about that, and then for some reason I should do everything to make it up to you. Like, it doesn't make sense to me either. But yeah, anyway, yeah, they're refusing me services, access to food, shelter, and clothing, and all that kind of stuff. And they're refusing access to, like, public accommodations. And they're refusing to give me any rental units or anything like that. And they're like, oh, yeah, so, like, why don't you, like, aren't you scared of dying? Aren't you, like, are you gonna kill yourself? And I'm like, how am I killing myself if you're literally forcing me to starve to death? What part of that is killing myself? Yeah, it's called, like, I think that's called genocide. Okay, because it's racially big. It's based on racial bigotry. So yeah, that's what that is. I'm not killing myself. You're literally killing me, and they're saying that actually I'm killing myself because I went to call the shelters and food banks, and they told me that I couldn't get access to it, and they refused access for bus tokens, so I can't even leave the TTC, the friggin' bus station. Otherwise, I have to pay for another token. And the cops are harassing me about it, and I'm like, why are you showing up near me if you don't even have food or shelter space for me? How about you go fuck yourself? How about that? I don't understand that part either. And I'm like, they're like asking, why? I don't know why they're scared either. It's like, oh, do you think I'm gonna kill myself? Because you're killing me. I don't understand how part of this is me killing myself. And some idiot made a stupid video of some white Jew girl, right? Saying, oh, you're actually killing us, about like the Jewish people, about the genocide, to like lessen or like try to cover up for the fact that it's actually like a lot of it has to do with a lot of companies who are involved in why I had to be in this situation, because they're stealing from me and they want people to find out. They're like, oh, where did you get this work done from? And they're like, oh, we got it from somebody we knew. And I'm like, what? I don't fucking know you people. Who the fuck are you? But yeah, that's what they're doing, and they're unashamed about it, completely unashamed. And they're like, I don't care. Like, honestly, I don't care that they're insulting me. I don't care that they're telling me that they'd rather get fired than give me a bench space. I don't. If they want to kill me and I can't actually do anything, and I'm not gonna break the law to do so, 100% I'm not. I'm not gonna go break into grocery stores or pet food stores. I'm not gonna go break into people's houses and force them to give me shelter space. Well, what is the point of that? And I think they were trying to convince me to go to prison, because they're like, wouldn't you rather go to prison than stay at a shelter? I mean, stay on the streets. It's cold on the streets or something. And I'm like, you can watch me freeze and starve to death if you want. I don't care. Because I can't do anything if you're refusing to work. Like, I don't get that. Like, I don't understand what they're even saying to me. And I'm like, okay, so you want me to freeze to death on the streets? Okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna go and knock on people's houses where they're gonna either attack me, assault me, call the police on me, or get them to do something that you're responsible for. Because that's retarded. And also makes no sense. It's because I'm telling them about my situation. It doesn't mean that people actually have to do anything about it. That's a great part of life. No one has to do anything. You don't have to do anything if you want. You can just sit down and be a complete asshole if you want. You can live your life being a huge jerk or being a really good person. It doesn't matter. Because we all die. At the end of the day, one day I will die. If I die now or if I die in 50 years, it doesn't actually matter. And no, I was never planning on living up to like 150 years, because I don't even think that's possible, first of all. What the hell am I gonna do for 150 years? The same fucking bullshit every day? No thanks. And they have the audacity to come up to me and tell me that they're crying about me, and I'm like, wow, could you like cut the bullshit for once in your life? Like, for just 1 minute. Just stop talking shit. Just stop it. Just be honest with yourself and with me and say, hey, I don't give a shit if you die or not, because you don't matter to me. That's fine. Because I don't know these people well enough. We don't actually have a relationship. And if we did, it would be really fucked up for them to even say that we're friends. Because clearly I'm not their friend.